Hey, Mark. Hey, I went to one of the most ridiculous places I've ever been. That was the Louisville Arcade Expo.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear about this.
Yes, yes, it was bananas.
How much
And
it cost? $20 to get in, I think you said.
no,
Or
no, no, no.
no.
So it did on Sunday. So I went 2 different days. You
Okay.
could buy a week-long pass. I had a show on the Saturday, so I couldn't do anything on the Saturday. So I went on Friday, and it costs $40 to get in on Friday.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was pretty steep, and it what really was really cool. Now, as soon as you walk in, there's all of these pinball machines. There's all of these arcade cabinets. I'm really not a
Look at
big
you using the lingo. I love it. Cabinets. I love it.
cabinets. Yeah, yeah, the big ones, the big guys. Yeah, yeah.
What do they call pinball machines? There's a different, I think there's a fancier word. Do you know what it
Yeah,
is?
there might. I don't know if there is.
Like
I don't.
deck or something like that. Okay.
Yeah, I get the decks. Yeah, a lot of pin. I have played pinball machines. My wife and I, we went to Chattanooga, and they have the pinball museum,
Okay.
which is they give you a wristband and you can walk in and out all day. And we ended up having a lot of fun in Chattanooga, going to the pinball machine, then going to the IMAX movies, and then we went to the Medal of Honor Museum that was in Chattanooga.
Okay.
All of those really fun. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Uh, but I'm not really into pinball.
Okay.
And so I saw just huge amount of pinball machines.
Yeah.
And there's the cabinets behind it. I see a bunch of cabinets and a lot of weird people. There's some weird people in these expos.
Are they
Uh,
older? These must be older people, right?
no, no. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, maybe. There's some older. It's running the
And I'm sure
gamut.
they're dressed like teenagers. I'm
They are-
picturing like
Yeah,
55-year-old people carrying a skateboard and
yeah. There's
baseball
some of
hat
that.
backwards.
There's definitely some of that. There's a lot of people that dress up in costume. Not
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more than you
Like
would think.
like
Uh,
like like not like movie characters, but like
yeah,
video game
yeah.
characters,
Video game
like
characters.
Donkey Kong or whatever.
Yeah, there's one guy who was dressed like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. But
Okay.
it's an obscure reference, but I got it immediately. So I walk in. There's this booth to the left, all has like 1,000 swords for sale.
Okay. Okay. I'm getting a picture. This is like Renaissance Fair adjacent.
So many swords for sale, and they're all plastic, but they're like replicas of uh, video game swords.
Okay.
1,000 swords for sale.
Did you
And then
find the Zelda one? Did they have the Zelda?
oh yeah, yeah, Master Sword. They got Master Swords. They got the Buster Sword, which is Final Fantasy VII. They had everything, man.
Okay.
And so anyway, I was a little disappointed as soon as I walked in. I'm like, $40 is a lot of money for just a few arcades. I don't like pinball, and I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm not gonna play any of these pinball machines and these arcade cabinets. I'm like, but then I found a couple of things that I got really into. They had this VR section. Oh
Fun.
man, so much fun. They put the VR goggles on you. They can go over your glasses, and then you're like, "Well, here we go." I played VR until like my head got really sweaty, and I'm like, "All right, gotta take the VR thing off." And then they had these other little
Let me
rooms.
ask you about the VR. Did they have the treadmill thing? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, no, no. And I did VR 3 different times.
How did they make it so you didn't run into other people?
Well, the games were not running games. You
Okay.
wouldn't have to move a whole lot.
Okay.
But they did have, if you were they had 2 different kinds of games. They had games that you would sit and play in the VR, and games that you would stand and play. And if you stood, they had these big boxes
Okay.
around you, like.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I did all sorts of that. Did Fruit Ninja, did these rhythm game. Anyway, all of it was pretty fun. But then they had these little retro retro uh, rooms where just old Nintendos. They had a
Oh,
shooting
fun.
gallery with all of the Duck Hunts.
Fun.
It's been a minute since I played Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Did they have like an extra long cable for the gun, or did you? Because from what I remember, the cable was like 3 feet long. You were
I
right
don't
on
know
top
if
of the
it
television.
didn't feel like it was modified in any way, but they did have you sitting a little bit further back and using the gun.
Cool.
It was all a lot of fun. They had some vendors there, which brings me to one of my purchases, maybe my favorite purchase from the from the Arcade Expo is this guy right here. Yeah,
wow. If you're listening, he's got a Denver Broncos logo on a chain that's orange and blue.
Yep.
And
yeah, it's big. It's all 3D printed.
Oh, neat.
So it's all plasticky. And you know, it was really I like it. I thought it was super fun. So yeah, it was a lot of fun at the little nerd expo. And then on Sunday, I went back with my wife. I took her, and she really enjoyed it. She's really good at duck hunt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we did a few other games as well. But
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so pinball terms, real quick. They call it the cabinet. That's the wooden part. The back box is the part with the display, and then the play field is the thing.
Play field.
Glass over it. That's what I was thinking of for
play field. Yeah.
What? So you don't like pinball, but do you like what cabinet were you excited to see? Because it's a band or a movie or something.
Yeah, they had a Pokemon one, which was
okay. There you go.
That was probably the most popular. Had a
was it released in America, or is that a Japanese release?
They gave out awards. They gave out awards for all of the guys who brought the cabinets, and so it was a bunch of probably 24 guys brought 3 or 4 cabinets each, and they gave out awards. And the best in show for pinball was the Pokemon one. The one that I walked by and I really liked, and it wasn't working properly. I tried to play it, but didn't work completely. Was Steamboat Willie, which is the first cartoon that Mickey Mouse was ever in.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it is the whole cabinet is black and white.
Oh, neat.
Only using black.
Is it kind of newer, or is it from like 19?
Yeah, no, it's super new. Yeah, super new.
Fun.
Looked really sharp. I liked it. So
that's neat, man. That's cool. Did they have any like big games like the Terminator 2 one where you got the big guns, or
they had some racing games,
people driving motorcycles.
Had, this one pod where you get in this like big bubble and it like moves the whole pod around. I did not do that one. But then they had some racing games where you sit in there and the whole thing, they had some interesting there's one that was just like a complete drum set, and my wife and I were watching this guy basically play the drums, and he was so good at it.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm gonna try it. So she gets on there, and she has the guy, because it's all in Japanese, but she has the guy like help her like set it to a low setting, and fails so hard. It's like she doesn't know how to play the drums. Dude, it's like, it's not like a video game about drumming. It's like actual drumming. Like, if you're good at drums, you'd be good at this. If you can't play that instrument, you can't do this, man. So it's pretty fun.
That's fun. Did they have food?
They had like hot dogs and like popcorn and stuff like that. But
where was it at? Like the convention center?
No,
warehouse?
We have a huge convention center in Louisville. We have it's like in a really small, much smaller convention center, which is closer to my end of town. So I enjoyed that. Yeah, It was only 10 minutes from the house. Didn't have to pay for parking. Convention center, they'll do this thing where they'll be like, tickets are only $7, but it's $45 to park.
Oh yeah. How long did you stay?
A long time. First day, I probably stayed 6-7 hours.
I got your money worth.
Yeah. Second day, I went with there we go. Dude, okay. The 6-7 thing blows my mind. I just happened to mention it in front of a kid one time, and he went nuts. I don't get it. I think that's the point yet. You're not supposed to get it, but like, I don't get it, and I'm not talking about it. And I'm so glad that I am not 6'7". That because people ask me my height all the time.
You're at the DMV. You're like 6'7", and some millennial or Gen Z just starts cracking up.
So I get asked all the time. So I'm glad I'm not. But yeah, the second day I went with my wife. We went, and then we left, and it was Sunday, so we actually went to church, and then we had lunch in the parking lot. We made sandwiches, and then we stayed until the very end of the end of the day. And
wow,
it was a lot of fun. a lot of fun. I
That's
enjoyed
cool. Did it cross your mind like, hey, there's a lot of people here next year, maybe a comedy show?
it. Well, kind of. It did. I I think I have two thoughts about it. First is the actual reality is during the little presentation of the awards, which I sat in for a little bit. Um, the guy was like, "We're not doing this again next year.
Oh, bummer.
Too hard. I hate it. I've been doing it for 10 years. We might do a 1 day event. We're not doing a 3 day event."
Okay.
So he said that, which he might go back on
Oh,
because
was it busy? Do you think they made some money?
well, that's interesting. He said it wasn't as busy as last year, but it felt pretty busy to me. I
Okay.
mean, every once in a while you'd have to wait for something. I got to basically everything I wanted to play, but not the first time I saw it. I had to circle back around, and then it was open.
Yeah.
Um, but I will say this: I don't know the overlap of arcade fans and comedy fans.
Okay.
It's definitely not a huge overlap. I feel like it's a pretty. Those are not the kind of people that like comedy or could almost. I mean, if you interact with them a little bit, you're like, I'm not sure if you could understand it. Even they're weird. They're weird people, and like
Okay.
if you try to joke around with them, they would take it literal,
Okay.
and then they might figure it out. They're not so, and that's not all of them, obviously, but the ones I interacted with were like that.
Okay.
So, it is what it is.
Not a lot of eye contact.
Not a lot of eye contact, not a lot of nuance. Uh, very, very literal people.
Oh man, had a great show last night. I'm on
Yeah.
like a high. I don't know why I was so happy with the show, but I have some theories. I was up in Avon, Colorado.
Mm.
So it started as a disaster. This is a show that's at the Westin Hotel in Avon, very fancy. Westin's a really nice. It's not like when we're talking about the places we stay.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a choice hotel for sure. It's really, really, really nice. And even better, we're in the fancy cocktail bar, the like exclusive cocktail bar that's in a separate tower. You take an elevator up to the fifth floor. It's one of these elevators that only has one button. You
Yeah.
know, it's either you're going up to the 5 or you're going back down to 1.
Wow.
And when it opens up and you step out into this, it's called Lookout Bar. It is like kind of unbelievable. There are 20-foot tall glass walls that are like they're not even, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's like a trapezoid. It's like they're diagonal, so somehow that makes it more impressive. It's like peaked in the center,
Mm.
and they look out at Beaver Creek Ski Mountain. It's like the best view ever. It's totally stunning. And then they do these cocktails that like smoke, or they light them on fire, and they have all these incredible smells, and like it's really nice. And it's like a 55 seater. We typically sell it out. It does have really high ceilings, but it can be very fun.
Yeah.
It's a great room. And they called me at 2 p.m. the day of the show. I'm driving up there with a headliner. We'll get to who the comics were in a minute. And they go, look, the elevator broke, and we can't seem to fix it.
Mm.
So we got to do something. And this is a little complicated, getting a little bit into the weeds. There are like 5 different ticket types at this show. So there are tiers. You can get a general admission ticket, that's the cheapest ticket. And I often will tell people who have been to my other shows that I know are kind of fancy, and they buy a general admission ticket. I'll go out of my way to email them and say, this is the worst general admission ticket I have in any room. You would probably be a lot happier if you upgraded to a VIP seat. And I'm not just trying to make extra money. The general admission seats are uncomfortable, and everybody's shoehorned together. Meanwhile, the VIP seats that we have, VIP front row, you have these like really comfortable chairs.
Yeah.
You got a little table for your drink. We have VIP not front row. You have like a dining table plus a comfortable chair. So you can have food, you can have drinks. We have VIP bar where you're in a kind of comfortable chair, but you're at the bar. So you have ready access to the bartender and drinks. And then we have these 3 ridiculously comfortable, big swivel armchairs. They're the most expensive, and we sell those as well. And so we got all these different tiers. So when they call me and tell me the elevator's broken, I'm like, my first thought is, what am I going to do with all these people that if we move somewhere else, how are we going to differentiate seat types? So I said, now here's another little quirk. One of the headliners, Eddie Ift from Los Angeles, Showtime, Comedy Central half hour, etc. Last year he did the show. I've worked with Eddie for like 6 years, and I did not know that Eddie will not get in an elevator. It's like some kind of claustrophobia thing or something. And he he always shows up like a minute before showtime. And so he shows up a minute before showtime, and he's like, dude, I can't get up to the show. I can't ride. The only way up is an elevator. The only public way up is an elevator. And so I have to get like a manager of the hotel to get him into the like kind of like construction feeling stairwell. You know what I'm talking about? Where there's like $0 have been spent. Like the walls aren't even painted. It's like the back area of a hotel, just raw concrete steps and metal. And so that was kind of neat seeing that part of the building. And it's 5 flights. It's kind of a long walk. So we'll get him up. That show goes fine. So anyways, in the back of my head, I'm like, well, Eddie's going to be excited that there's no elevator. So I'm thinking, so I tell the manager, I'm like, look, I think we should walk the customers up the stairs. I know they're ugly and I know it's going to be inconvenient, but I have these different tiers of tickets and I don't really know how to do that anywhere else. And they're like, well, with this ballroom, we could put it in. And so anyways, we go back and forth a little bit. They don't want to put the customers through, you know, they're very, they're a good hotel. They care about customer experience. They don't want their guests to have to walk up this ugly stairwell. Plus they're worried that out-of-towners with altitude are not, you know, it's going to be difficult. And then they tell me operationally, they have to lug booze and food up the stairs and afterwards trash out. And I'm still like, well, that's your problem. Let's do it. But then this whole time I'm driving, you know, I'm having these speakerphone conversations with another headliner in a car, Carmen Lynch. So we'll get into this in a second. There are 2 headliners on the show. The whole show, maybe this is why I loved it. It was so easy to book and run these, you know, it was just me. And then I gave them both headlining sets. They're co-headlining. They're doing a show tonight. They're flipping who closes. So I suddenly realized I have to bring up my cart of stuff up these 5 flights of stairs. I had forgotten all about that. I got speakers, lights, stages. I'm like, no, I can't I'm not doing that. So I relent and say, let's do the ballroom. Okay. So some good things about the ballroom. It has a stage. They're set up for like a wedding tomorrow or some kind of corporate event. So it has a stage that's probably, I don't know, like 16 feet wide. It's a big stage and like 4 to 6 feet deep. And it's taller than my stage. It's in the main building. So when you come to this show, you got a valet for free and then walk about 5 minutes over to that elevator. Instead, and it was raining yesterday, you can go right into the hotel and it's just like downstairs and like a conference ballroom. So those are some of the good things. And then I talk them into a 10% discount on food for the customers. And then the food is better in the sense that they have a bigger kitchen in this main area than they do in this like satellite cocktail bar.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, I got to communicate this to everybody. I got to update the event listing, which is in like 4 hours, and I'm driving. And I'm like, okay, let's do the ballroom and we'll figure out a way to separate the seats. And we did. They found some fancy armchairs.
Nice.
We sold 2 armchairs. The VIP bar was kind of the worst thing. They ended up on this like side of the room that had a granite bar, but there was no bartender. The food and drinks all got ran by servers from the upstairs lobby bar. And then they would come back. It was a lot like a comedy club. General admission was just like rows of chairs. And then the VIP front row were very comfortable chairs that were in the front row, and they had little drink tables. And the VIP not front row were these big banquet rounds, which weren't ideal, but because they're so large that the humans are spaced out in a way that isn't great for comedy. But the show, like to circle it all back, for some reason, this was like the best show I've run in a long time. I don't really know what it was. Maybe it was because my expectations were so low going in, and then it worked out. But you'd think that would have stressed me out more.
Yeah.
Um, I checked everybody in. We had about 50 people. Everybody was happy. Not a single complaint. I was really worried people were going to complain about the venue switch. Nobody cared. And obviously the lineup was killer.
Yep.
You know, it's me. I was on fire. Had a lot of fun. In fact, I was going to do 7 minutes, and I gave each of them 40, and which is on the shorter side for me. I was 5 minutes in before I realized I hadn't told a single joke.
Yeah.
I'd made like a 5-6 joke set list,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, I can't do any of this really. Yeah. I gotta get off the stage. So, and then Carmen went up, and Carmen's been on Letterman, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Corden. You know, she has like 7 to 10 late night credits. Comedy Cellar. She just toured with Louis C.K. Like 3,000 people theaters all over Europe and America. She's a killer. Actually, I'm sorry, Eddie went up first. So Eddie did 40 minutes first, was great, and then Carmen went up, did 40 minutes. She had it. I mean, it was just so fun, and everybody had a good time, and it felt different, and the finances were pretty good because we got to 50 tickets. Yep. And just everything I don't know why, but I've said this before, when comedy works, it is so fun.
Yeah.
It's like it is so fun, and it can be so bad. It can really be bad. But and like tonight I'm stressed because we've sold about 30 tickets. And this room is one of my favorite rooms that I run, but it doesn't get good until you get about 50 people. And I'm not sure we're going to get to 50 people. And so and then also the money stinks when we don't sell that many tickets. So I'm stressed about tonight, but last night was just a blast. It's so much fun.
That's great. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. Fun. I mean, changing a venue at the last second sucks.
Yeah.
But
maybe it was because I didn't have to create the stage.
Yeah.
Like that made it easier, I guess.
Yeah. Would you have it in that new place?
Well, maybe. It was kind of a good trial run because we put an air wall to make it a little smaller. Yeah. When I first walked in, it looked sad. Yeah. You know, it was going to look sad, but we removed that air wall. Now we can sell 100 tickets.
That's
right. We sold out every single show this year at Lookout Bar. So maybe next time, if we sell out well in advance, maybe we do a venue change so we can sell more tickets. I will say that the worst thing, I haven't sent the surveys out. I'll send them out later today. I bet we get a lot of feedback that the food and drink service stunk. Because they told me there were going to be 2 servers and it was going to be no problem. And it turned out there was 1 server, and it was a long walk to that bar, you know? And so they were just like about 10 minutes before the show, I got up and said, raise your hand if you want drink service. About 6 people raised their hands. He went and helped 2 of them. It took like 5 minutes, and then he left because he had too much to carry back. And so I was just like, this is not going well. Like there are 4 people who are not going to get served until the show starts, and so I don't know. I think I'll hear about that, but
I
don't know.
So you would tell them just staff better.
Well, that, or they could put a bar, like one of those pop-up hotel bars in the room. I think they didn't do that this time because it just didn't make sense expense-wise.
Yeah.
But the other thing we could do is we could coach people, get your first drink at the bar yourself and walk it down.
Yeah.
Or maybe get 2. So I don't know. Yeah, I think I would use it again.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I wonder, you know, I'm so cynical sometimes, which helps me and probably hurts me. But I I wonder if they're thinking about closing. I just had this crazy thought. Maybe they're going to close Lookout Bar,
Mm,
and they forced this situation to see if this could work, to see if they wanted to bring it back next ski season.
yeah.
Uh,
Wait, that you only do it once a year? Is that right?
no, I only do it during ski season. So we did
Oh,
January, February, March, April. We did 4 shows.
gotcha.
In the
Okay.
past, we've done some December ones, but
Yeah.
I've learned over the years that December in these ski towns, unless you're like right up against Christmas,
Yeah.
is it's it's not. Even though the ski mountains are open, they're just not busy enough
Mm,
to make it easy to get butts in seats.
interesting. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Didn't know. I don't know. I'm not a ski. I never did skiing, so I don't know the ski life.
Well, I didn't know this stuff either. Like, you really can't figure it out other than running a show and trying to sell tickets. And then you learn things over the years. Like, I recently learned that I should be running shows over spring break. You
Yeah.
know, the town is so much busier, and there's all like it's so nerdy and like it's like Moneyball. Like
Yeah.
there are these public reports of beds. Like, it's like bed reports. It's how
Uh,
many hotel beds have been sold, and you can get them out. Like, you could look up right now in September. You know, Vale is at 30% occupancy.
yeah.
You know, but as September gets closer, maybe it gets up to 70% occupancy. And you can look at like historical reports. And basically, I want to run comedy shows when the hotel rooms are full
Yeah.
because it's mostly a tourist town,
Yeah.
which is why I'm struggling tonight. Last night in Avon, which is Beaver Creek, we get a good mix, like half locals, half tourists. In Vale tonight, in Vale Village, it's more like 80% tourists,
Mm,
20% locals. And there are no tourists up here right now. Very few tourists.
mm.
So because the snow is really bad. They just closed it. They closed this. This is wild. Yesterday, no, 2 days ago. So the last day of March, they closed downhill access in Vale, which means you can't ski to the bottom of the mountain anymore. You have to stop midway up the mountain, get on a chairlift or a gondola, and ride that down because it's just dirt on the trails at the
Huh.
bottom. It's really
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, they've been recording snow levels for like 60 years or something like that. This is the worst year in recorded history.
I
Yeah,
had no idea. I had no
yeah,
idea.
been
Weird.
pretty rough.
Wild stuff, man.
Yeah.
Well, fun.
I-
Yeah.
You got
I
another story, or I got
sure. Yeah, I
something?
went to Nashville.
Huh?
A couple days ago on New Material Monday at
Okay, Zanies.
Zany's.
That's exciting.
Always fun. So most of the time when I get, well, most, 3 or 4 times when I've gone down to do New Material Monday, they also let me do Nate Land Live in the
Mhm.
lab at the same time. Um, and this time they didn't because Brian Bates was recording either a special or a mini special or something. He was doing some sort of special recording.
Who's Brian Bates?
He's one of the Nate Land guys.
Okay.
He's the
Like a
so
big one or
nope.
okay.
So it's pretty funny. So he's one of the comics for Nate Land. He's a older guy. He's the oldest of them. So you got Aaron Weber, who's the youngest. You got other guys that are in the circles like Dusty Slay, whatever, who are kind of in the medium category, and but older than Nate, a guy named Brian Bates. But he's been there the whole time. Uh, Sometimes when I've listened to the show, Brian feels like the adult and everybody else is like the kid in the room, and they're all
Right.
like kind of cracking jokes, whatever. And he's like kind of bringing them back to the focus. And they bust on him for not being very funny, very pretty often.
Okay.
Um, and that was the when I saw that, I was joking with a buddy of mine. I was like, um, he's recording a special I mean, because that's like the smallest room you could record it in. That's like Dusty Slade would have recorded at the Grand Ole Opry or something. Like Nate is selling out the Bridgestone, and Brian Bates is in the lab, and we're talking 30 people, maybe. I mean, it's small. And anyway, but he's a fun guy. So
So you've said in the past that at New Material Mondays, you usually do like A stuff, even though other people are doing new material. Are you still doing that, or did you? No. Okay.
new stuff. I did new stuff. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was interesting because so the lineup, New Material Monday is real hit or miss. I've had some buddies come, and I did that. I cheated. You know, I'm doing killer worked out material, and then they're like, "Well, yeah, you were the best." You know, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm playing with a stacked deck. But the other out of towners are too. Like they're doing the same thing I'm doing. The
Like you're playing
local
with a tilted pinball machine.
tilted pin. I'm tilting the pinball, tilting the deck of the pinball or the play field, tilting the play
Nice, nice.
field. But so the other guys, you know, if you're out of town, that's what you're gonna do. If you're in town, you know, and that is your club, and you really are at the level where this really is just a way to work out your material, then you know you're doing some new stuff. Um, so you know, I most of the time I feel like they're doing worked out material. I've watched the whole show,
Okay.
but you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, the show, the worst part about the show was the drive down there. My buddy, he got on it for the first time. He lives in Indiana. He says he's from Louisville, but he's lying. And he drives down, and he drove, and his car way too small. And
Okay.
so I'm folded up in there for 2.5 hours. But we get down there, and he does a good job. They do this thing, man. There's this like trend that I've seen at Zanies where they will include a usually middle-aged woman who is well put together, you know, like outfit and hair and makeup and the whole thing. So like not a slob at all, but like well put together, who's not that good. And who
That's why people think women aren't funny.
yeah, but like exactly, but like not that good for. I mean, I have strong opinions about that idea because nobody would be good because you've only done stand-up comedy 50 times in your whole life.
Yeah,
You're gonna be
tough to
bad.
book women, man.
Yeah,
Hard. It's hard. I feel for these bookers.
yeah.
They're in demand. Anybody who's any
Exactly.
money is in demand.
Yep, exactly. So, you know, we were chatting before the show, and she's staying with my buddy who lives in Nashville. And my buddy, when he came to Louisville, he stayed in my house. And so I basically was like, hey, you know, if you like him, you know, if you ever come to Louisville, you can stay in my house. And now I'm like, I don't know. It's like I mean, no problem with a comedian staying at my house, but it's like I want you to be at least a little funny.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Oh man.
I didn't get to watch her set, so all I could do is hear the audience.
Sure.
Because she went on right before me, so I'm in the green room, and I just didn't hear a whole lot.
Okay.
Hear a whole lot of interaction. So
Jake, was that the end of that story?
yeah,
pretty neat. So how did your material go?
Oh, it went good. So I
You got anything that's a keeper?
Yeah. I think I got some. My notebook is in the other room, but yeah, I did some stuff that was new. Some stuff that I had done like once or twice at like legitimate open mics.
Yep.
And some of it, the worst part was it wasn't well timed. So I'm like, I think this is 8 minutes, and then I'm on stage and things are going. I'm like, that wasn't 8 minutes, man.
Right.
So I threw in a couple of good ones at the end because I just had more time. I didn't get the light yet.
I had this problem at New Talent Night this week. You know, you get a 4-minute set, and I'm up there and I got my timer on the stool, but when I come out, I do a joke about the comedian before me, and it crushes. Like 5-second, laughter break. which throws off the timing later. Plus, somebody like spilled a drink. It wasn't really a spilled drink, but they have those metal arm things that hold the drinks. Somebody like knocked one and it made like a huge noise that I had to address in the middle of my set. And also I had this thing happen where like I told a punchline and like the main audience didn't laugh quite as much as I expected, but to stage right, there's that area, they call it the short bus at Comedy Works. Some lady there just like lost her mind.
Yeah.
And they were laughing way better. So then I said, well, I'm only telling jokes to you guys.
Yeah.
And then so I started a new joke and the main group started laughing and I put up my hand like to block them out. And I was completely twisted around and so I was doing all this weird stuff and I was very present. And suddenly I got the light and I'm like, I just finished a joke, but it wasn't the end of my set at all. And I was like, thanks everybody. That's my time. Have a good night.
Yeah.
And Janae afterwards said that it was very professional. I'm a pro. Like you dismounted well. But I said to her, I was like, I really botched the timing of my set. We got to do an update on should Mark do this festival. We skipped it. We skipped it last episode. We forgot all about it. But just to recap from last episode, we were 14 days removed from an email from the festival organizer that said I'd be on the website any day now. And I still was not on the website. But what was new was new people showed up on the website. So we can go over them on the Patreon if we want to. I don't know if we can tell who's new, who's not. But I wasn't on the website. So I was like, what the heck's going on? Well, then in between taping that last episode and this episode, I got an email addressed to some woman, not even to me. And it says, hey, your spot is Saturday night at the theater. Please promote on socials. And so I write back immediately and say, is it my spot or is it this woman's spot? What's going on? Also, the organizer, who I won't say his name right here, because this email is like info@comedyfestival.com. It's like a generic email, but I'm pretty sure it is the organizer. But I also have the organizer's email, and we had a separate thread about, am I going to be on the website? Can I be above the fold, etc. So they write back, and they're like, oh, so sorry. Yes, we'll get you on the website right now. And yes, this is your spot. It was just a typo. So I go to the website and I'm above the fold, dude. Yeah. I'm not like as high as maybe I would love, but I'm like top third. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I don't love the picture they used or the filter they have, but who cares? So I'm going to be there Saturday night. The other Colorado comedian is on the same show. We texted. So that would be interesting to kind of be able to compare and see how we both do. And I'm thinking about flying into Atlanta, renting a car, and driving out for just the one night. But I don't know. I might go both nights. That's something I gotta figure out. Like maybe there's some stage time in Atlanta or in some town I could do Friday and then go and be part of the hang after the show. Maybe helpful to watch the show. I'm not real psyched on whoever the headliners are, if the headliners are on that page already. Last year they had Pete Lee. Doesn't seem to be anybody at that caliber. So anyways, for those listeners who've been listening for a while, should Mark do this festival? We're shortly going to transition into, should Mark have done this festival?
That's right. Should you have done the festival?
Yeah, but I'm on the website now. And we can get into the dirt a little bit more.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah.
All fun. Yeah, you said something about last time. You said something about NextStop, basically. NextStop being just a whatever knockoff.
Don't tell knockoff. Yeah. Yeah, they're like a smaller don't tell. I don't think they would object to that characterization.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure while you were saying that, a guy texted me from from NextStop.
No way.
And the text was something along the lines of, "Hey, I mostly book the next stops in New England, but I also handle the private events. Do you want to headline this festival in uh, Kentucky on a Wednesday for
What do
a
you mean
good
by
amount?"
festival? Like a comedy festival
No,
or
no,
like okay.
a fair. Has to be family friendly.
Okay.
You want to do this thing on fair on a Wednesday with for pretty good money. It's like, yeah, absolutely. It's like,
What are the chances? We should really talk
I
about this on the Patreon. But
yeah,
what are the chances? Well, actually, we've never mind. Let's talk. I have something to say on the Patreon about
yeah,
this. Uh, but that's exciting. Congratulations. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I think you can guess, maybe guess what I'm going to say. I can't remember what I've said on the Patreon before, but I definitely have something to say in this area.
All right.
Uh,
I'll let you. I'll let you give it a shot. Okay, I have another interesting thing. So I am doing a little challenge. It's the second day, so it's not. Who knows? The idea is a 30-day challenge for basically no TV. Now I've been probably watching too much TV, and by TV I mean like literally the TV in in my living room.
okay.
I'll watch YouTube on it. I don't watch actual TV, but I like clips of baseball games and Pawn Stars and different little YouTubers that I like. There's a few Netflix things. There's a few movies. There's things I watch with my wife. Um, yeah, this is I don't know. I don't know how normal this is, but we've been married 15 years. We don't have kids. We have every meal watching TV.
Okay.
That's every time we've eaten for years. We're watching TV.
Okay.
We were rewatching recently Rob and Big, the MTV movie, the MTV show with Rob Deerdeck and
Okay.
Big Black Boykin. So it's like this
Okay.
old mid 2000s reality show. So, but uh, no. So I have all of the rule. I like figured out. Okay, what counts, what doesn't count,
Okay.
that sort of thing. So like no YouTube or no whatever. There are a couple of exceptions. I'm allowed to go to the movies, uh,
Okay. I
and
think you're gonna like this, man. This
I think
happens to me accidentally all the time where I just get like I'm in that period right now. I haven't watched TV in probably 2 weeks,
yep,
and it's probably gonna continue for a couple more weeks
yep,
where I'm just so busy that I don't get into the groove of watching TV. Like usually what brings me back to TV is something I watched recently.
yep,
It's almost like I think like a drug addict,
yeah,
but you get off it and then it like eventually you like quit feeling the need as long as you're not bored. If you have extra time, if you're not super busy, it's so easy to like be bored and be like, "Oh, I have an hour. I should watch TV."
yeah, yeah. And they're definitely yes, and um, you're bored. You're like, what else am I going to do? Like, but there are in the rhythm of my day, there are times when you know my wife and I will just watch TV. Like we don't have a couch in the living room. We have two recliners, like two lazy boys.
Yeah.
And whenever I get home, she's in one of the lazy boys. I sit in the other one, and we're gonna watch a little
So, how does your wife feel about this? This feels like she's the one being penalized.
a little, yeah. So I
I guess
had
I have
to
to talk during your meals now?
that's right. So I had to like show her what life without this would be and what it would look like, whatever. So obviously she's still allowed. She's the kind of person that rewatches the same five, 4 or 5 shows again and
Okay.
again and again,
Yeah.
and a lot of times has it on in the background.
Mhm.
She's a graphic designer, so while she's designing something, there's like Dawson's Creek is playing in the background. She's not really paying attention. And I So I mean, you obviously can still do that. That has nothing to do with me. But these meal times, these we'll have to eat at the table, and we ate at the table for the first time like yesterday. So we have a table, we have a kitchen table, we have a normal where people eat table, and we used it to eat for the first time. We've owned it for 4 years. I have used it for comedy. I've had people over to write comedy and at my house and do comedy writing and comedy workshop stuff, which that got real weird real quick. I'm gonna just say that.
Okay.
I got a whole thing about that, but I've had people over to do comedy writing at my table, but never actually ate at my table until
Okay.
yesterday. So yeah,
Wild. How's it go? Like, is it stressful? Like, have you I don't know, felt like jonesed for the TV?
maybe it's very easy to just like, yeah, that's what we're doing now. I also I
Wait,
don't
wait,
want to
what are
like.
you saying? This is what we're doing now is not watching TV, or this is
No,
what
no,
we're
no.
doing
This is
now?
like it's just TV time. Yeah, of course it's
Okay.
TV time. You know, it's very, very easy to um, kind of replace it with any sort of like scrolling on Instagram or whatever. And
Yeah,
like
sure.
that's also kind of off limits. But I already don't like scrolling. I don't mind posting, and I don't mind replying to comments or like liking some other guys' things here or there, trying to boost other creator, other comics, and be like, hey, yeah, I like this guy. Go see this show, that sort of thing. I don't mind spending 4 or 5 minutes doing that at a time, but
Yeah.
don't want to be like just keep going. So that's all. I don't want to like, hey, don't do TV. Let's just spend 20 more hours on Instagram, every week. Um, that's not the idea. Yeah. So far, the weird thing is, um, and I'm guessing you're not like this, but during meal times, it's like, okay, well, what are we gonna do during the meal? It's like, what are we watching? Like
Yeah.
that's just the first thought that goes through.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. It's like eating is kind of boring.
Yep,
It is a boring task. You got to get the food from the plate into your stomach,
yep.
and it's easy to multitask and watch TV. This is kind of interesting science that people can Google to verify, but it turns out if you watch TV while you eat, you are way more likely to overeat.
Mm.
So there's something like in the brain psychology where if you're not actively looking at the food as you're eating it, you don't get
Oh,
full. It seems ridiculous, but this is like
yeah,
real, like science journal,
yeah,
medicine stuff.
yeah,
You really shouldn't have the TV on when you eat because, or be distracted in any way. You're supposed to like pay attention to the food you're eating, and then your body will feel full sooner.
yeah. That sounds to me like one of those monkey brain things. Like that's what like Scott Adams used to say. Uh,
Okay.
who's the writer of
I know
Dilbert?
him.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he would be like,
Died. That's crazy. Did you know that?
died. Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
sad. Yeah,
He was so healthy,
yeah,
or it seemed like it.
yeah. It seemed like it.
I guess you shouldn't be that healthy.
Maybe that's your problem, man. But you'd be like, there are things in the modern world that are not made for the monkey brains that we
Ah,
have, like, and which is totally true, right? Like the amount of stimulus, like you went from 1900, which was relative not that long ago, um, where you only heard music that was played live and only like once a month when you went to town. Two, you could listen to music all day, every day now, or whatever you think. I mean, like just how much the world has changed um, with regards to consuming media and everything and the like. Um, some of that stuff is just like monkey brain, like the monkey brain inside you. You're like, okay, you gotta just watch the food go inside you. That's better. Okay, you know, you'll actually feel full. You weirdo. So
yeah. Huh.
uh,
That's an interesting
let me
theory.
tell you the story real quick. Okay,
Okay.
I brought it up briefly, and it is okay. So Anyway, what I did is I had this idea at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. I'll have people come over to my house and we'll do some comedy writing feedback. The idea very simple: set a timer for 15 minutes. You say as many jokes as you want, then you pause, and then
Yep.
we'll all try to give you tags and try to give you
Yep.
feedback and try to whatever. We've done this. You and I have done
Yeah,
this.
yeah. We've done it over Zoom,
We've done it
or Google Hangouts, whatever. Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that's what I'm doing. I invited some people like that I knew, and then I also just put it on the local Facebook group. Anybody interested, let me know.
Ooh. Ooh, the danger, Will Robinson.
That's right.
Out to the local comedy community. Come to my house.
Come to my house. Yeah. Let me know. I'll add you to
this may not end well. Let's see. I can't wait to hear the end of this.
It doesn't. It's not that weird, but I think you might be blowing it up a little too much. But the weird part was, so like there's some bad comics, new comics, unfunny people.
Oh, I didn't even think of that wrinkle. Yeah, you don't. I mean, whenever I do this on the video chat, it is highly curated. The people that I invite in, because I mean, even some very funny people just aren't suited for it because they might be too mean, or they might not be. They might be too shy to like share things or to receive feedback. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, so I mean, unfunny new comics, some new comics that are getting better, and some guys that think that they got something and don't have anything. Really delusional, like that way delusional open micer that like, yeah, this will crush. Have you ever been booked for something? Well, no. Like, okay, that sort of guy. And and I don't mind. Come on over. I'll help you. I'll give you my honest feedback. I'll try to make your stuff better. And and that I have no problem with that. That's what I expected. What I didn't.
I mean, that can be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because you have a superpower of sorts, and it really shines when you're with a brand new comedian.
And what I didn't expect was, a buddy of mine kind of boosted this and said, "Hey, if you're not doing this, you should do it. If you're not going to a writing exercise like this, you really should."
Okay.
And that made a few other people kind of get into it. And what happened was a woman contacted me. She sent me a DM, and I assume said something like, "I want to join." I didn't see it because I was working or traveling or something. I literally just didn't see it for like a day. And then she commented on the other guy's comment of something like, "Well, I guess Jake doesn't like women," or something like that, right? Like real, like, and I'm so confused.
Oh, buddy.
So confused. Like, what is happening?
Oh, man.
So anyway, we go back and forth on
publicly or privately?
No, on DM.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be, anybody's welcome. I don't care. And she's just like weird, like trauma dump on me through these DMs. And when I was at work, I would read them to this woman I work with, and like, I don't understand. I would screenshot the whole thing, send it to my wife. Like, I don't know how to respond to any of this.
Yeah.
So my responses ended up being like 5 words long. Like, well, it's at 4 on Sunday if you want to go. Like that sort of thing. Like, you're still welcome. I'm not upset. I don't care. You can come.
Yeah.
And I've seen her in public, and she did come one time. So she like in like the conversation was, you probably think I'm too embarrassed to show up or whatever. I'm like, I don't think about you at all. I don't even care. I'm just trying to help.
Yeah.
And she showed up, and it was fine when she was here. And I've seen her in public, a few times, and it's fine. I feel like weird, like how much of kid gloves do you have to treat this woman? Like how emotionally fragile is she? I don't know.
Right.
But
yeah, be careful giving feedback on her jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would just give like, okay, that one's good. How about you try this? Like not take anything away, not give real feedback. A lot of the feedback should be like, cut half this crap or stop saying that. It's gross. That's
classic. No good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah.
Is that biblical? Where did that come from?
No, it's not. It's just
Okay.
that's just an idiom. But then I was getting a little bit frustrated with them, and then I had a schedule change, and I was something that I was used to do on Saturdays. Now I was doing on Sundays, and I'm like, oh, can't do it anymore. So I bailed. I'm thinking about going back because I got a little bit more time on my hands nowadays. Um, but we'll see. We'll see if I do
Bring
anymore.
it back. Do Zoom one. I'd hop on a Zoom one.
Yeah, we can do it.
Maybe
Yeah,
bring back. I mean, I don't. I'm not precious about the fact that I was the ringleader of it previously. If
yeah,
you took the baton
yeah,
and I could probably meet some Louisville comics,
yeah.
and you could invite some of the Denver comics that we've had on there, and um, yeah, that would be fun. That'd be fun. I was just gonna say something. Oh, I was gonna. This is like kind of cool and kind of interesting. At Comedy Works on New Talent Night, it was like a weird lineup where, and maybe this is the new norm, but like suddenly I'm like the senior person.
Mm,
Like it's like the opposite of that dazed and confused quote. I
yeah,
forget
yeah,
how the quote goes, but I love high school, man. It's like I keep getting older, but the chicks stay the same age.
yeah,
You know, it's
yeah,
it's like this weird thing where like I guess through attrition, enough comics have quit over the years
yeah,
that at Comedy Works, when there's 20 comics on the lineup, I'm suddenly like a top 4 or 5
yeah,
comic. And so like there are all these young comics who like want to talk to me. They're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I can see it in their face. Like they're nervous to talk to me. And then I'm nice and I talk to them and they're like glowing. They're so, they're so, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm nobody. I'm
yeah.
just like another open micer. And but they saw, apparently I did very well on stage. So everybody's really excited. It's so funny on stage. Janae gave me a note that basically I'm too hard on myself
Mm,
because I guess I did very well, but I didn't think I did that great, you
yeah.
know? Uh, and like so many people came up to me and were like, man, I was crazy. And I'm like, it didn't sound that loud. And this is kind of a victim of my own success thing. When I was getting started, all I did was open mics and then I'd go to New Talent Night and the roar from the audience was exceptional. And
Yep,
now I run all these successful shows and I get that roar all the time. And I
yep.
go to Comedy Works. There were probably 60 people there. It wasn't very full. And it's just not as loud as some of my regular shows. And I think I'm not doing great.
Mm,
But anyway, so I think it's wild that it was also kind of an anomaly that there weren't. I mean, I'm trying to think who was on the lineup. I think there was maybe one submission comedian. There was one non-past comedian that did better than me. So
yeah,
I was like right up and subjectively, maybe some people would say I was the best of the non-pros, which is crazy. That has
yeah.
never happened to me before at New Talent Night. There's always somebody or 2 or 3 people that I feel like are at my level or above my level that aren't passed yet. But um yeah, it also really helped that I was up on standby the week before, like
Yeah.
going consecutive weeks. I still get nervous getting on that stage, but going 2 weeks in a row really helped with the nerves. Speaking of, and we're about to roll into Patreon, I have something real spicy to tell you about the New Faces contest.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And let me tease some other stuff for the Patreon. Everybody, patreon.com/Mark and Jake. I'm going to look at ticket sales for tonight. I haven't looked in a couple hours, so I'll give some updates in real time. We got some juice about Next Stop. I'm going to talk to Jake, give him a theory.
All
And
right.
also, Jake, I heard this new term. New term. The term is licking the donuts.
Never heard.
Yeah, it's a comedy term. You're gonna love it, and I'm gonna explain what it means in the Patreon. You got
Fun.
any other Patreon stuff?
Yeah, I had the best YouTube comment I've ever received just 3 days ago. Very
Nice.
excited. And you were talking about having that roar. I had the roar. I had the like crushed so much that the guy in the back was like, "That is amazing." That guy books all the time. Knows that I did the roar. Has never booked me.
Ha!
So I'll tell you who that is.
Maybe it's because you're a woman. He doesn't like women comics. All right, we got to go into plugs. This is coming out April 20th. What do you got?
Yeah, well, I'm doing that weird gig in Colorado. Hopefully, adding a few Colorado dates. I've been reaching out to people in the Colorado area that weekend, but I got a really fun one on May 1st in Nashville. May 1st in Nashville, and then a couple other corporate ones that nobody can go to. So
okay, I got a crazy April. I'm in San Francisco. I'm in Maine. I'm in Massachusetts. I'm all over Colorado. I'm in South Dakota. But kind of spotty around April 20th. Looks like April 23rd. That's a Thursday. I'm in Lubbock, Texas, but that's a private. And then I'm trying to book a private on that Saturday in some weird place near Amarillo, Texas, on my drive back, which would be incredible if it worked. I underbid to try and get it. And then coming up May 1st and 2nd is the comedy festival that I guess I'm still not saying publicly because we're talking about it so much, but you can find the dates on my website, markmasters.co. I think they're actually not on my website. I'm going to fix that today. And then Vail Comedy Festival is coming up Memorial Day weekend. Fly to Colorado. It's worth it. We released all the feature films, incredible feature films for Film at Vail Comedy Festival. Incredible comedians, both the submission comedians and the headliners. It's going to be an amazing weekend. Magic is back. VailComedyFestival.com. Vail Comedy Festival on Instagram. It's May 22nd through 24. And if you want me to, I don't know, do comedy at your arcade game expo, I'm available. Markmasters.co has a contact form. I respond usually within hours. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, you can go to BigJakeComedy.com for all.
He's showing off his Broncos wear. That's right. All right, we're rolling into the Patreon, everybody. Patreon.com/Mark and Jake. Thank you to the Patreon people that noticed another mistake I made. And so we're cleaning that up. There's a great back catalog there. And I'm so excited that people are actually consuming that content. So we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.